Good evening, welcome to another review from DWC. And no, hell hasn't frozen over. This is in fact a 148 Hobbymaster World War II aircraft. Something I said I'd probably never ever collect. But there's a great story behind this, which I'll share with you in a minute. But this, of course, is the lovely P40B, Warhawk of Lieutenant George Welch of the 47th Pursuit Squadron, 15th Pursuit Group, Wheelerfield, Oahu, Hawaii, 1941. Of course, on that fateful day in December back in 1941 when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. So let's get into it and have a little look. So, what's the story behind this aircraft, I hear you ask? Or not ask if you don't care. But so, I often talk about the perils of diecast collecting, but how to really start on a budget. And of course, I have got a number of different things saved on eBay. So right about now, you'll hopefully see a little picture come up telling you how much I paid for this. Yes, that is how much I paid for it. It was an absolute bargain. It's what I call a sleeper, where you watch something and you hold off to the last minute. You think, do I really need it or not? And then pull the trigger. I paid less than £2 for this. Obviously, I had to pay postage on top. And yes, it isn't perfect. And I'll get to that in a minute. In terms of the actual airframe, aircraft is absolutely spot on, as you'll see in a minute. There is literally one down undercarriage missing from this. The up undercarriage parts are there, which isn't an issue if I want to display it that way. And there is only one down undercarriage, which is a real shame in that respect. But for less than £2, I've got a 148 Hobbymaster model to display. And it is a very, very nice model. So let's open her up. So the great thing about Hobbymaster, compared to someone like the early Whitties, as I knock the camera down, you've got a lovely little bit of spec around the actual P40 itself. No real detail on the aircraft other than what's on the front of the box, which is a little bit of a shame. But it tells you about when it first came into action, how many were produced in terms of all variants, how many crew it had, the lengths, the wingspans, the heights, the weight at empty and takeoff, performance, power plant, maximum speed, crew, servicing and armament. So it does give you a great little bit of history around the aircraft per se, but not massive like Corgi where you have the certificate. This doesn't have anything as such, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not the be all and end all. If you want to do your research on George Welch, obviously a really famous pilot, especially on that fateful day in December 41. It's all there ready to see. So you have that information. What would be nice, and I think Forces of Valor do it, is a QR code where you can scan the QR code and it takes you to the story of the pilot and the story of the aircraft. For those people, especially the younger collectors who want to learn a little bit about the history, not just of air warfare, but the brave souls who flew these things, I think that'd be a great opportunity to sort of get them and build that into their knowledge base. So I'm going to get her out of the box and let's have a look. Here she is on a display stand. All the up undercarriage parts are present as displayed there, and also underneath on the stand there's a small hole where it fits in. The cover is in the box as well, so the only thing I'm missing is the left undercarriage down. So there's the other one, so I do have one, which is a real pain. But also what's really good with Hobbymaster, and I think I've spoke about this before and I'd love to see this from Corgi, is this small tool that comes with it. So it's able for you to flick out the up undercarriage to save you causing any damage. Brilliant, brilliant idea. So it's so simple yet so effective. So let's have a little look at them. In terms of moving parts, oh, the pit's taking a bit of a bang now. I'll just straighten that up. Yep, that's fine. So I'm sure you can see. Propeller spins lovely, makes a nice noise as well, almost like you're cranking up an engine. Also, the canopy is so much better than the early Corgi 172, and of course it slides as well. Good detail, of course you'd expect that at 148 scale. The detailing in the cockpit is a lot better. Details on the panels are really nice as well. The paint tempos are fantastic. Nice and clear, the colours look spot on as well. There it is on the side. There we go, there's the rear from the rear as well. Of course, Corgi have done this in 172 and it's really nice. Let's not get away from that. But this is quite lovely. Look, I don't collect 148 because of the amount of room you're going to need for it. Purely on that basis. And some of the stuff, I'm not massive on any. I'm not keen on the 148 Spitfire. It just don't look right to me. I apologise for anybody who's got loads of 148 Spitfires, because some of the schemes are absolutely stunning and they continue to knock them out of the park, but just not for me. I'm a 172 guy and I'm sticking to my guns. But this, for less than £2 for a model this good, thank you very much. Incredible bargain. And of course, these don't come along every week. And I know I make it sound like it's the norm. It really isn't. But it's just so satisfying when you get something through the collection which you never expected to own. And for less than a fiver delivered, I got this. It'll look lovely in my dad's collection up on the cabinet in my mum and dad's house. I'm sure I'll be very pleased to receive it up there as well. But it just shows you what you can find when you have a little look for it. So just be patient, folks. You might not be. You might, like London buses. You might get 2 or 3 arrive at once. As I found the last couple of months with a few rare pieces that have come through into the collection. Like the B25 Mitchell site I've waited for ages, and suddenly I see one at £70 and had to pull the trigger for it. So yeah, a lovely rendition of a 148 aircraft by Hobbymaster, knocking it out of the park, who are fantastic at what they do. I don't, my collection is probably 80 or 90% Corgi, or maybe probably not as much as that if you think of all the other brands involved, but no, I don't have as many Hobbymasters as I perhaps should have. But they are great at what they do, and this is very highly recommended. Colours look spot on in terms of the grey. I think look at the stenciling underneath it says US Army. I'll tell you, yeah, that's good. That's good. It looks decent to me. Detailing on the undercarriage is great. Yeah, really good model. So look, I hope you enjoyed that review around the bargains. There is a lot of perils that come with this hobby, but the bargains that you can be found as well. Stick to your guns, save those eBay searches, and just have a little check-in every day, because you never know what you might find. And don't forget as well to always make an offer. Don't be afraid to make an offer. It's not as if you've got to talk to someone at an air show and insult them. It's literally you're just a virtual insult. So make an offer, but don't take the mickey. Anyhow, look, hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribe to the channel today. Plenty more things to come over the coming weeks and months. Thanks for all the love and support. See you soon.